Welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. If you're watching this video, it means there is a chance for you to win access to Heroes of the Storm. I've got a lot of VODs to upload over the next few days, so with every one I do, there is a chance for you to win. All you need to do is A, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and B, just comment saying I want to win or something you liked about the game. Every comment will be entered into a draw so long as you are subscribed. So, all that's left to do is sit back, enjoy the video, and let me know what you think. You can even give me some feedback as well. I'm always open to that. So hopefully you win, and if you do, I may see you on the Nexus. Enjoy the video. Stormcraft usually says it. We're on Cursed Hollow.
It's Cursed Hollow. Okay,
Cursed
that's
Hollow.
a lot more standard.
So yeah,
Brilliant.
Stitches is the first pick here. Tier 1 tank. WellMet liking this one. Great on this map. A lot of cubby holes that you can hook into. Doing things, return it with the hammer and ETC.
Yeah, I mean, standard picks here so far. WellMet with their Stitches, of course. Really, really good on Cursed Hollow. You can just pull people off from catching the little curses. And DT with hammer and ETC. Again, really standard top meta picks right now. Hammer's just really, really strong, and ETC, really, really strong warrior as well.
Yeah, the one question I have though is, would you pick Hammer over Valor on Cursed Hollow? It's one of the bigger maps. Hammer's rotation times are very slow. Valor fits into a lot more team comps.
Also, the more interesting thing is as well, Doing Things actually picked Hammer into Stitches.
Yeah. Now, one or two patches ago, Barricade at 13 used to block Stitch's hook.
That's correct.
But
yeah.
now it doesn't. You're kind of a sitting duck for a Stitch's hook, and we know the class of WellMet. We know
exactly.
They can hit hooks.
And they have just followed up with the Valor and the Tyrant. Now, you know how this is going to go down for Hammer if she does get hooked here with the Tyrant stun following straight up. I mean, the Stitches Tyrant combo is a very well practiced thing for these top teams because it is just incredibly strong.
EG were a team that did it. They added 2 new players to their roster. It was ZPs and someone else, but ZP Stitches, he'd hook in, and then even if he missed, the Tyrande Lunar Flare would be there, ready and waiting for whoever it hooked. And it's just such a great combo. It's kind of a better version of Stitches Uther. It's riskier, but higher reward, obviously. And DT now
you
pick...
get the hunt.
Gone.
Go no, yeah, Karen.
And I was just going to say that DT now pick Rhaegar, a tier 1 support here, and Tychus alongside it. So this is exactly what we saw from them last time, apart from the Rhaegar.
I think this must be a comp that they have just practiced and they are drafting each time, because it is the same as last time, even though it is on a different map. So they must have just practiced this comp again. So it looks like they're just going to be running with a single support with Rhaegar. I mean, we haven't got their 5th pick out yet, but they have run with the 2 ranged assassins. Yep. Okay, although Hammer is labelled as a specialist, she's the equivalent
of an assassin.
Pretty much.
Is she ranged? Yes. Does she have a ton of damage? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. WellMet just picked up the Uther as well. So now we have even more CC coming down with the Stitches hook. If Stitches gets a hook here, whoever is going to come in is going to die. You've got the Tyrande stun, you've got the Uther stun, even into Divine Storm if you actually even need to somehow follow that up. With the Valor bursting you, and you've got the Hunter's Mark from Tyrande as well. I mean, a hook here into is basically, that's certain death.
Yeah. And
that on Cursed Hollow is just, because of the way that the curses work, you're always going to be able to hook someone.
Yeah. And now Zagara is a pick we've actually seen in NA quite a bit. I haven't been following too much EU, but I know it's kind of getting to the surface now. Cursed Hollow, with Zagara, it kind of just means that it's going to be a full-on push lane. Zagara solo lane will push something down, will force players to come up and deal with her. And then in a team fight, you can not only use the Devouring Maw to isolate someone and actually eat them up, but you can use it as effectively terrain. So Stitches hook someone, you put the Maw between the target and the rest of the team, and they have no way of getting back should they not have already died with all the CC that's coming down on them.
Yeah, well, obviously you do need a solo laner pick here as well, and Zagara right now is, between her and Tassadar, they just are the strongest solo picks right now in the game. And Doing Things did pick up the Falstead, which I guess will be going into the solo lane against Zagara. Now, that's an interesting matchup. I'll be really interested to see how that plays out, and I'll be watching that closely, because there's not that many people who play Falstead. I mean, Falstead is a really good solo laner, just because he has a lot of damage. He can stay in range with his W and just do a bunch of damage. But he can also just fly across the map with his Z if he needs to go help with a curse, and that will be the advantage that Doing Things will have over WellMet, just in the early phase at least.
Yeah, certainly so. And of course, Falstad brings that utility of I can soak a lane and fly when my team needs me. If
Exactly.
you do get behind and you need to fly, there's always that option of just soaking some XP. But if they do put that against Zagara, then the risk of leaving your lane becomes a lot worse because Zagara will push down the lane so hard.
I mean, I do worry here for Doing Things. I do worry here quite a bit because their team is unbelievably squishy, taking out ETC, of course. I mean, unless ETC is going to do an awesome job of like body blocking all those hooks and hoping that even he doesn't get burst, because I even think with this comp, I mean, a hook into up to 3 stuns with Zagara and Valor
Well,
burst. I mean,
4
I even
stuns.
think that's going to be enough.
With
Four
Rain
stuns.
of
Well, yeah,
Vengeance,
4 stuns.
6 stuns if Stitches takes the interrupt, which
Yep.
probably he
Yep.
could if they go mosh pit, but
I think fishing hook. Fishing
yeah,
hook here
fishing
would be
hook has to be
absolutely
fishing hook.
perfect.
But
I believe.
finally, before we get into this game, Rhaegar as a solo healer isn't the greatest. Yes, he works with Illidan because it's Illidan, but Rhaegar by
Illidan is
himself,
the
you
game.
kind of have to take the chain heal talents, and that means that you kind of trade off some other things. Like level 4, you could take the increased regen in Spirit Wolf form, which is great on this map because you're moving around the map so often, you're going to be in that mount form so often, you're going to need the regen. But you may have to take chain heal.
Yeah, you may have to. I mean, I don't really think you need fast sight on Cursed Hollow really, because you know roughly where people are going to be on the map due to the curses spawning, and the camps are pretty much you know usually when people are going to be doing camps. So fast sight's not going to really be needed that much. So we could take the Ghost Wolf regeneration, or the added the added chain heal on the shield. It'll be interesting to see what he does go, because he is completely so healing this. You probably will get a bit more from ETC with his what is it, guitar pedal or whatever? I can't remember what the exact name of the talent, which gives allies healing. So there might be a bit coming out of
Groupies?
ETC.
It's group. I feel like it's groupies.
Yeah, well, I'll check in game if he takes it.
But yeah, we're actually loading into our first game. This is the round of 64 between WellMet and Doing Things. And yeah, looking at the draft, what's your prediction?
Am I going to have to do this down to draft? Well, I think WellMet have got this just off drafting. Doing things have just got such a squishy team, and whenever a hook comes out, someone is going to be dying. 100% death every single time, and that just makes everything 4v5. So I mean, I have to give this over to WellMet just off this drafting.
Yeah. And of course, then you bring skill into it, and WellMet just runs away with it.
Yeah, I mean,
like if you just look at the WellMet team, there are faces that you know in there. You have Soke, you have Nomi, you have Hasuobs, you have Haruke, but we are now into the game, and why don't you go ahead and introduce the team on the left?
Okay, so with WellMet, we've got Nomi on Stitches, Sokka on Tyrant, Hasuobs on Valor. Up top right now we've got Gerdem Hurt on Zagara. And just running out of base right now, we have got Haruka on Uther.
And the right hand side, we have Doing Things, who got here through a no-show in their first round game up against Enviz. We have Slaggy Waggy in the top lane, Deadgeist on the Hammer, Crimson Flood on the Rhaegar. They're actually going for a tri-lane top. Manking on the ETC, and down bot we have Simple Marcus on the Falstad. And we actually have an aggressive play here. Nomi looking to get a hook here.
Now this is it. They've already fired off the
owl,
the scouting bird from Tyrant. Yeah, the owl.
Oh,
and
there it is.
she's just fired off the second one, but yeah, there's no one there. They can see ETC in mid right now. So unfortunately, there's no pick there that they can pick up.
Yeah, so to counter this Zagara push, they're actually going for a 3-man lane top, which I actually kind of like in some weird way. Just try and push against the Zagara, make sure she's that little bit more useless, and of course against the Hammer, then Hammer's going to get a good push of her own off as well, and Tychus in there as well. We might see Melting Point at 4 just for some even more pushing power.
Yeah, they've got such a strong push on top here. I mean, Hammer anyway is just sits out of range, sieges up, and just starts taking down structures. Tychus can do the same with his grenade, and also it's just increased attack speed, and he can just wave clear so quickly with his Q. So they've got a really Gerdem's gonna have to do really well here to try and stop those going down. I mean, he's got a lot of wave clear himself, which is good. Whereas on the bottom for WellMet, you can see that they're just going around with a ganking squad with Uther and Tyrant. You can see the two coming
this
up right now.
could be easy pickings. They're going to engage onto Hammer. Lunaflare slants, as does the Hammer of Justice. That's Hammer dead. And as I said, easy pickings. It's that double stun. This is kind of like a throwback to about 3, 4, maybe even 5 weeks ago, where the Roman squad was in every game. And in fact, they're going back for more here. The Hammer landing onto Crimson Flood and the Lunaflare. Hunter's Mark, increased damage, just Zagara single target damage by itself is enough, and that's 2 kills for WellMet and half a level lead.
And that's just really well played, WellMet. I mean, they actually started on 3 on bot, and then they just thought, well, you know, we haven't actually got much of a push with Stitches, Tyrande, and Uther on bot, so let's do what we were probably set out to do in the first place. Set with a 2-man Ronin squad. I mean, you open up with just the Uther stun, which means that you can just easily follow up with the, obviously, skill shot, Tyrande stun, 100% kill pretty much as early in the game, especially, like you said, with the Zagara burst.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that. They've got 2 kills, they hit level 5, they hit level 4 first, and we do see Feral Heart taken on Rhaegar for doing things. First tribute is up, and it's in this bot lane. We're going to be spawning at around the 2 minutes 40 mark, and how are Doing Things going to react to this? They essentially had a 50% chance of Falstad. If it was top lane, great, Falstad can soak, but it's bot lane, so they have to bring their tri-lane all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite fortunate for WellMet there, because the tri-lane was on top, and this curse did spawn down bottom. But you can see, like, you saw Doing Things just then. They started bringing everyone down from top lane. Gurdon's just sitting on top with Zagara. He's just like, that's fine, you guys can take that curse down there. And actually, because of that, they just, actually, 2 of them just came back, the Hammer and the Tychus. Yep. And they just decided, you know, we're not even going to bother trying to go down there, we'll just stay on this top lane, I think.
Man King getting hooked in, then the Lunaflare. This is what you're talking about in the draft. Because if someone's channeling a tribute, it is an easy target.
I mean, that's it. That's just going to be happening throughout the game. It's going to be hook into Uther stun, into Tyrant stun, and you've got from 10, we've got even more stuns to follow up if needed. But you can see right now how quickly people are dying in that combo. I mean, the Hunter's Mark adding on an extra 25% damage as well onto whoever they hook in. It just works on this map. It just works brilliantly because you're always going to get those hooks off.
Yep, and there it is again, stun into Lunaflare, and Rhaegar is no more. Simple as that. They took these night camps as well, WellMet, prior to the tribute, so these were pushing down mid lane, getting rid of the ammo from the towers, and it just made WellMet's job a lot easier. Haruke landing another stun, followed up by the Lunaflare.
I mean, this is an absolute showcasing here from WellMet of how to run this comp. I mean, every single time Uther's stun has been off cooldown, they're pretty much picking up a kill. It's just stun into stun, burst from Valor, with the Hunter's Mark, and it's just, that's it. Like, you are just not going to survive. They've got a 2-level lead now as well, and that's just going to add so many more stats and the damage on the abilities.
Not even that, but it's going to give them some map control, because they can do maneuvers like this at the enemy easy camp. This is going to get taken away, apply some pressure down, but someone's going to have to deal with this, meaning that they are going to be at least 5v4 on this tribute.
Yeah, well, that's just free for WellMet. This is going to be absolutely free. They've just hit 10 as well, so they're whole 2 levels ahead. They've got access to their heroics. I mean, that's actually... actually have a look what they've picked up.
Well, before we get into that, Haruka are actually getting a stun off a little bit too prematurely there. Soke wasn't able to follow it up that time, and Slaggy Waggy's going to get some damage back, but there we go. Starfall, Bile, Moor, Rain, and Divine Storm.
Yeah, I mean, that all makes sense. Starfall is obviously just going to pick up for the more damage, and someone Rhaegar just getting taken down there as well.
He went back for seconds.
And they just moved straight on to the boss here as well. I mean, this is just complete and utter map control. There's nothing Doing Things can do here at all. There's absolutely, they can't contest this boss. There's no chance in hell. I mean...
No, it's the best thing they can do is soak 2 lanes, and that's what they've been doing.
Oh, fantastic hook there from Nomi. Straight over. That was, I wasn't sure if that was blind, so I didn't see if the owl came out from Tyrande to see that. But absolutely amazing hook coming straight through that wall.
Oh, wow. And there it is, Divine Storm coming in. Slaggy Waggy followed up with the Lunaflare. As if that wasn't enough, the rain came down just for safe measure. Tribute has been taken by, who is it? It's by Nomi. Actually, Nomi was... During the Alpha, one of the best stitches in EU alongside Moxio of Alternate. This is what happens when you give it to them. Hooks galore, Haruke on the Uther, Soke on the Tyrande, and then you just have Hasu ops for damage alongside Gurdon if it's really needed. Now that these towers have no ammo, it's an easy push.
Oh, I mean, they've got 40 seconds. They've got a boss in the top lane. They're 3 levels ahead, doing things. I mean, you can just see it. Ultimate's coming down, Starfire coming down the back, just pushing them away. It means they can't defend. And they've only just hit 10, so they've just got access to their heroics. But, I mean, WellMet have just got access to their 13 talent now as well. And there's
Crimson Flood.
I mean,
and hook onto Marcus. Luckily he has barrel roll. Man King in there for some kill as well, knocking everyone away with the face melt. But he wants more. He's taking some damage here. Hiruke looking to get a stun off. Does get the stun. Lunar Flare lands as well just in front. That's a dead ETC. Slaggy Waggy also low.
This could be game. They can push through. They've got a boss on 60% HP, and it looks. And okay, the curse is just finished, but it doesn't really matter because the core actually. Divine Storm is
3-man more.
Wow.
Well, 2-man more, sorry. Followed by the Lunar Flare. 3-man Rain of Vengeance.
I mean, this is just. This is just absolute destruction. You can see it. This is 7 minutes. 7 minutes, and WellMet just are going to finish this.
Yeah. It's the early game. Get ahead and win the game.
DG, well played to them. They absolutely showcased that comp and just showed how strong that could be on this.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that's what you would expect from a team like WellMet. Bringing in skill, bringing in consistency, experience, knowing what is good right now, and Uther Tarande, the CC, the pick comp, ran it perfectly as you said. So guys, that is it. That was a very quick 7-minute game there. WellMet moving on now to the round of 32. Not quite sure who they're going to face or if we're going to follow them, because I know the German stream might want to take over from us, but we'll let you guys know. And any final words before we take a break?
No, I mean, looking forward to seeing the next game with WellMet and what map what map we actually get to see, and also if they're going to run the same kind of comp again, because that was played to almost perfection.
Yep, so guys, we shall see you in just a little bit.